Yeah, very good. How are you?
Good.
Is that fine? Okay.
This is offline right now. Starting right now. No, I really love your work because I mean
Cool.
the higher self and the spirit guides. I mean, oh my God, that's been the basis of my whole personal dream journey. I don't know what I would have done without my higher self in my dreams. My higher self and my spirit guides in my dreams have helped me overcome so many fears. I guess the part that I was really curious about is seeing that you've been not only teaching and working in regards to the spirit guide, lucid dreaming, and everything. What is your current? What has your connection with your spirit guide evolved to now that you're in doing this for other people?
Sure. Wow, that's a brilliant question. Well, basically, it's going through different levels every day, and it's changing rapidly and evolving, and every day I become closer with him. Um, but since I decided to write this book, it just began to blossom even more. There seems to be a force out there where if you help others, you get help back. That seems to be the common theme, right? Uh, it's hard to explain really, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it just even all the techniques that I've learned and the in-dream techniques that I've learned with him, they seem to be more magnified, and I can definitely build on them even more now. So my abilities become stronger. I mean, I think that's more of a byproduct, though, of the real picture here, because the bigger picture is I like to help and write books and share this knowledge unconditionally, and I think it feels good doing that. Yeah, it's just, I think that's where my guide, he wants me to take it that way as well, Being at service is really what it's all about, with human consciousness in general, I think. Helping each other and exchanging information and growing as one. I believe that's the real deal.
And do you have when you're working a room like full of people, do you have like everybody's spirit guide in mind? Like for example, right now, both of our spirit guides,
I like that. They're watching.
Oh my God, you have no idea. Like sometimes I totally forget. I'm just like doing, and then I will hear so clearly.
They've got some humor as well, which is quite good.
A lot of humor.
They don't take it too seriously, and I think it's a human condition to take things a bit too seriously sometimes.
How did you translate your whole experience and teachings and everything into your what is your product, right? Your work, your life's work until now, your books, Spirit Guided Lucid Dreaming and Dreamscape series.
Yeah. So basically, I based on the new presentation. I based it on the book Spirit Guided Lucid Dreaming, and I tried to cram it into a 6-hour presentation. So we had a full day's workshop. But throughout that time, there was more like meditative exercises and breathing exercises and things.
Nice.
And reality checking as well. So, we mixed it up with some physical stuff. But yeah, it was quite interesting translating that into a presentation. And I had some really funky slides as well, too, because I think images really sort of set, into your subconscious mind. And to make it quite interactive and fun at the same time, I think that information can be absorbed a lot easier. A lot easier. So it was really exciting to do. I think as much practice you can do in this physical reality, the better, because it will just prepare you correctly for when you dream at night.
Yeah.
It's complete. That's the main thing about my research and experiences. I treat it as a mirror, and I call it mirrored awakenings. Nice. It really is that. Everything, and a lot of the dream yoga techniques are all based on that. Everything in this physical reality is mirrored into the dream reality. So yeah, that's such a great exercise.
Yeah, for me, everything has to go back into the waking reality. And vice versa. So I recently had a dream where I was in a jail without bars. It was just a jail. But we couldn't go out because there were raging wolves and like cowboy cops, whatever. For whatever reason, a guide appeared. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was right there, and he said, if you follow the lioness, and there suddenly was a lioness right in front of me, he said, and don't think, just trust, then you will be able to get out of this game, this world. So I followed the lioness with the little girl that was with me, my niece, sort of like a my niece person. And we walked right behind the lion. I swear, I totally trusted it. I was like in complete trust. I had no fear. I just knew that he was like, you know how you know your guide is saying the truth.
Yeah.
It's different than a character saying something. This was like, no. It's like I took it as a 100%. I'm gonna follow the lioness. No fear, you know. But the little girl next to me was when the lioness decided to sleep not far from the jail. The little girl was like freaking out, like, oh my God, now we're gonna be like torn to pieces. This is dangerous. We're crazy to believe this lioness thing, you know. And immediately an airplane passed by. The lioness sneered at us and like telling us, you're getting out of the no thinking zone and we can be seen. So I was like, please, let's just go back to the no thinking and trusting. And she was like, okay. And we did. We followed the lioness. And I woke up, and funny thing is, I started doing it in waking reality. I start fearing anything. I'm like, no, just follow the lioness. And I swear, I totally get in that complete trust and flow mode.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, and then I followed the lioness in. I did an experiment where I followed the lioness into my lucid dream before sleep. And I woke up in the dream lesson I had, which was people would turn into skeletons according to my emotions. So I had to control my emotions. So the more I said follow the lioness, the more they would become like statues. If I started fearing, they would become like zombies. So I went through this whole maze of tests with my own emotions in the lucid dream, and it was so valuable.
Wow. I've had similar tests like that where your higher self or spirit guide will put you through a whole cinematic kind of scenario, and you go through a series of different levels within your own psyche, and you deal with all subconscious, deep-rooted fears or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just so elaborate the way it all is. It seems to be different between normal lucid dreams and having lucid dreams in the spirit guide. Like you said before, how you followed the lioness and you felt the energy, and then in waking reality, you could feel it, that same energy, you know?
Well, my spirit guide, or higher self, like I said, I was very connected as a child, so I always had it present. I guess I read stuff earlier on, because I was like a 6-year-old trying to find answers, and my father would bring psychics to the house, and people who astral projected to talk to his, weird daughter. My dad and I were very telepathic. So he would bring me books, and some of the books were about, the first initial were about angels. How to find your guardian angel. Of course, I was little, and that was in the form of which I felt comfortable. Because, my mom was Catholic. But then, I overcame the Catholicism. But nonetheless, the whole introduction to how to contact your guardian angel was the beginning of my, higher self spirit guide quest, so to speak.
Right. I came from a very religious background as well. But then I think when I was about 10 or 11, we just stopped being religious, and we just decided just to Well, my family got divorced, and then that was it. We kind of went into the realm of, not having a real faith as such. But it gave me a real opportunity then to find my own way back and try to find and discover something a bit more spiritual. And it sort of all tied in from different dreams that I had growing up, and feeling the energies and seeing a few ghosts and things. So I was always a bit sensitive to these energies. But I believe everyone has this gift.
Yes.
Some of it's probably more intuitive than others, but it doesn't mean that you can't find that. I think everyone has the ability to do that.
Like, just to answer your question, it's funny, when we start talking about this subject, when we start bringing more attention to spirit guides in general, or when I'm giving a talk, say, I see a big change in the frequency around me, in the energy, and I call it the spirit frequency. It's basically just noticing a certain frequency that rises as we bring more attention to it. And synchronicities, actually, in general, start to speed up. there was a lady who sat at the front, and I was talking about number sequences and how the number 8 has been following me since the beginning of time. It's just everywhere I go, number 8, number 8, number 8, and I see it as a sign from my guide. So the lady at the front, she's also an author, and she has a book called 88 Ideas for Lucid Dreaming. And she showed me at the end of the talk, and I was like, wow, there's another synchronicity right there. And these synchronicities keep following me, and they seem to follow everyone who's rising this frequency. So yeah, I put that in my book, The Spirit Frequency, and I would like to write another book about that actually, and delve a bit deeper into that, because it's still quite new territory for me with this. I'm always uncovering new things, and it just keeps going on and on and on. You know, you can talk about it and write about it and share knowledge about it.
Oh yeah, the teachings that come in a dream sometimes for me, I don't know why. Sometimes they choose certain different forms. For example, let's say I'm really interested in a guru in India. You know, because I follow a lot of things from scientific to spiritual, and I'm really into that guru for that week, like just listening to the videos.
Guru of the week.
It's the guru of the week, or of the month, or whatever. And I'll start having dreams with that guru, saying the teachings of my own spirit guide, possibly. But they are also like spirit guide dreams, because I know it's not a dream character because of the nature of, you know, how I feel and everything. I just know the signs. But yet it doesn't look like my spirit guide.
I mean, I think they can, spirits in general, you know, ascended masters, spirit guides, archangels, you name it, animal spirits, they can all change and morph into many things. And I think they do that to fit our subconscious minds and to fit our personal belief systems and whatever we feel comfortable in. You know, they have, I think underneath that shell, they are completely made of light. And, you know, they don't really have an appearance like you and I. So it's quite amazing, actually, because I've actually had quite a prophetic dream, actually, where I had my guide there, and he showed me this amazing sort of old village, and it had, like, wells of water, and it felt like I was in some kind of really old, sort of, I don't know 12th century kind of village, with lots of farms, and it was really spiritual, and really, really high definition and bright, and the sun was shining. It really felt like I was there. It was incredible. And then he took me around the corner, and there was this bearded man sat there, and he called himself Jesus. And again, I was, you know, from my religious background too, I was like, I don't really know about Jesus. I mean, you know, I kind of a little battle with myself when I woke up. I thought, well, why is that, you know? But I've gone past the whole, you know, seeing them as they are visually and feeling energy. And that's kind of what I teach in my workshops. It's about opening yourself up energetically and feeling who that spirit really is. And like you said before, you felt it too, where you can just have this feeling through psychic awareness within the dream, what that spirit is to you and how they are. And you know, you get past the whole, oh, well, you've got this image of yourself right now, or, you know, you're wearing this thing and you're wearing that thing. Because at the beginning of my research, I actually studied quite a lot of dream characters, and I did actually look and sort of draw a lot of the images. But then my guide actually changed that much throughout the years that I just stopped drawing, and I just wanted to just feel the energy, and that began to be more important, I felt. And then because of that, you just sort of, like, you open up intuitively and you open up psychically, and it's quite amazing now.
The teaching, my higher self, who is looked a certain way until a certain age and then changed completely, and then these it just appears as different characters within my dream, or not characters but different forms, even like people I barely know and stuff like that. So and in the beginning, people are like, well, how can you tell which one is which? And I never been asked that, and I was like, I don't know. I just know. I don't even have to question it. I'm just in the dream and I know. It's like an inner knowing.
Inner knowing, yeah.
And not everybody is connected to their inner knowing. So this is a very important, like the inner knowing. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been writing about this a lot. I have been seeing how to incorporate this into the way I teach dreaming, because
Yeah.
if you don't tap into that, then you could just be unconsciously dreaming and have a valuable experience that you will disregard, you know.
Well, it's funny because it's quite difficult to teach a feeling as well to someone. You know what I mean? Like, you know, feel this.
Well, that's the challenge. That's because you have to go about it in a different route. So how to do this has been the question, you know, how.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to like break through with my work as well. I'm trying to like sort of bring that in, and the only thing we can do as dreamers, I'm sure you agree, is basically just share our experiences. I mean, that's how we learn from each other, you know. And a lot of the workshops that I'm doing, I want to kind of show them the experiences that I've had, but not actually impose like a belief system so that they have to then be believing in what I'm saying, because that would mean that they would have to make an intellectual choice of that. You know, they have to feel what resonates best with them, and obviously experience it for themselves to actually believe it. That's a huge point.
Maybe that's a task for Dr. Lucid.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Dr. Lucid, wow. I'm the first person to talk about Dr. Lucid.
Really? I love Dr. Lucid. It's
Really?
if anybody doesn't know, it's in Nick Barrett's YouTube channel.
Hello my friends, Dr. Lucid here, and welcome to another one of my episodes. I'm speaking to you right now at the Lucid Laboratory because I've just finished creating my latest invention. He's standing right here next to me. His name is RoboDog. Say hello, RoboDog. He is so cute and very intelligent. I think he gets his good looks from me. Anyway, I wanted to share with you today a wonderful topic, meeting your spirit guides through lucid dreaming. So come on, join me now and let's look at the facts with Dr. Lucid. Oh yes, and RoboDog.
Mad scientist talking lucid dreaming. It is a bit rad, right?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
It's great that you say this, though, you know, because it's that kind of comment that makes me want to do more. And to be honest, I kind of went through phases of, do people actually like it? Is it a bit too weird? Information useful? You know, all these questions start coming up, you know. But then the feedback has been great. I mean, the Ascension video that was done in 2012, that had about, I think, 15,000 views. And I was really impressed by that. Yeah, and it's obviously a big topic, you know. It's good to get that feedback. And there's a few people that say, oh, you know, he's crap.
Oh, don't listen to people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still interested in Dr. Lucid. Like, when did that whole...
Can we go offline again?
So, you want to learn lucid dreaming, huh? Great! Some of you may already have had this happen to you. It's very natural. If you say, well, I don't dream, then you're wrong. Everybody dreams. It's just you don't remember, that's all.
I was not expecting to talk to Lucid. Okay. No, I'm sorry. When I hear the name, I just freak out. It's weird, right?
This is kind of funny. It's like a button that's fun to press.
The Dr. Lucid button, yeah.
Like, when did you come up with the concept? When was Dr. Lucid born?
Basically, at the beginning of 2012, in January, I thought, okay, so we got December 21st coming up. We need to bring more awareness to this. And I love David Wilcock's research in the matter. So I used a lot of his research and then formulated it into a character. I didn't actually draw it as well. I got my big brother Jason to draw it. He's a bit of an artist as well. So he just said, okay, man, let's just do it. Let's get good, serious information, done not too seriously. And I think that's the way to get through to people. I thought, okay. So then he came up with like a mad scientist concept. We thought, okay, well, Einstein's pretty good. He gives good information. He's quite clever. And I did hi everybody, the voice. And I'm really sorry I just did that impression for viewers out there. But at least you know now. You know who it is.
Oh my god.
And then we just did video 2 and then video 3. And yeah, it was good, you know. It's a good way of reaching other people. And I heard as well that a few people have been talking about it, like through other friends, and so people are seeing it. So,
so I'm very interested in knowing, like, don't look at me like I'm about to say Dr. Lucid.
You're gonna say Dr. Lucid, right? Oh no! Don't say RoboDog either.
Awesome, I love him.
Yeah, I just saw a flag. Did I see an O go across the screen? I went to a piece of flux. Did you see it?
No.
That was weird.
A spirit guide.
Went across your head like a little bit of energy.
Oh, really? No. Oh, I love that. Those little orbs.
Yeah, look back on it. You can see on your video, I swear.
Oh, cool. Spirit guide saying hello.
Yeah, there's complete trust there, without a doubt. It's more than trust. It's like a part of you which you know already. Even if you don't know, you know it. You know,
Right.
it's a part of you. And that's why I always say it's like a higher self, you know.
Totally.
It is a new term, isn't it, that a lot of New Age people, a lot of them say. But I think it's the best way of describing it. It is a higher version of you, you know.
And that's another thing to be integrated. A lot of people are all about integrating their shadow, and I'm like, we also need to integrate our light. It goes hand in hand. But our higher self is also shadow, so it's both. I believe in the yin yang, as above, so below.
Yes, absolutely, me too.
So where are your goals in regards to dreaming and teaching headed towards? Do you see anything in the future for yourself that you're working on right now? Or?
Yeah, well, right now it's about teaching and providing quite a strong platform for giving a lot of workshops and talks, and there's a few things planned already that I'm working with the archetype events. Have you heard of Gateways of the Mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm working with them as well. So there's a lot of great things in the pipeline. I'm working on a new book as well, but I need to finish the Dreamscape series first. There's like another 4 volumes coming out.
And what is the next book's subject matter?
So basically, it's about being more sensitive to our guides' messages. It's all about opening yourself up more as a sensitive, sentient being, so you can pull in this energy even more. Right. I did touch on it quite a lot in the other book, Spirit Guide, Lucid Dreaming, but this one is for opening yourself up on a greater level. So I'm also uncovering new truths about it as well. So me and Guy are working on that together. It's nice. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll have something. As I say, the universe is made up of a lot of things, and humor is definitely one of them. And it really is that. Love, humor, gratitude, peace, everything. It's just all bliss. So, yeah.
Definitely. And I'm interested in, because a lot of dreamers that I speak to say that dreaming is their spiritual practice. Is that the truth in your case, or is it just a part of a bigger spiritual practice that you may have?
It's just, it naturally evolved into that. I didn't plan for it to be like that. When I first discovered lucid dreaming, I was literally just doing the mundane things, like, flying around and walking through walls, all the amazing things that you can do. And I still love flying as well. I'm a bit of a good flyer now. But then it just started evolving, and I moved to India for 5 months in the south of India. And we met up with this amazing spiritual community called Auroville. You may have heard of it. And there it was just naturally just holds a great consciousness, and like-minded people. And I actually gave one of my first talks in lucid dreaming there. And it really did open myself up to a whole new level. I started to attract more spirit beings into my dream world because of it. So I do believe that if you can get onto that wavelength of thinking and wavelength of lifestyle, I do believe there's thousands of benefits there. One of the main things that my guide taught me from day one was feeling. He said that you need to learn how to feel, and I was like, well, feel? What does he mean by that? And then he kind of opened me up psychically, and now we can talk telepathically within the dream state, and he can send me an emotion which describes a whole heap. Like, it sends me a book full of knowledge within 1 second of telepathy. And that's what it is. With emotion, you can express so much more in such a small space of time.
Yes.
And that's what telepathy and psychic awareness can do. Because this language that we're speaking right now, it is limited. It does limit us in many ways. But unfortunately, we have to carry on this way of talking. But I think nowadays as well, we are opening up psychically. It's amazing. I believe we're all born with this gift. And we come from a place of perfection, and somewhere along the line, we kind of forget who we really are. But that's the whole journey back, isn't it? We have to remember then who we are again. We have to go back up the ladder, and if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to self-discover even more aspects of yourself, you can do.
Exactly. Totally.
I love it. I love it all. It's great. And, dreams is a great facility to do all of that. Lucid dreaming especially, You can tap into some wonderful things and open up and unblock things, and it's incredible. I mean, I've always got a few things cropping up now and then, and sometimes I like to ask, my guide at night. A way of doing it is you set an intention to ask for the next teachings. I say, please send me my next teachings, and your guide knows what's next, and I'll be sent a series of dreams, usually in pairs of, well, not pairs, but usually in a series of 3 dreams. And it's like a movie, isn't it? But in 3 parts. You get the introduction, you get the middle, and then you get the ending, the finale. And I've had a lot of those, and I find them really fascinating. And each time I go through that, at the end, I've overcome a certain fear or problem. So yeah, next time you're going to set your intention, ask for the next teachings. I highly recommend it. But yeah, one of my main concerns was trying to give this information that I've learned from my guide over the years, just to compile it into the book and compile it into a practical method, I mean, to share and to expand consciousness that way, and to bring more light to the subject. Because funnily enough, there's not really a lot of information about spirit guides in lucid dreams. You don't really see a lot of that. So I think I need to try and find a bridge where I can bring these elements together and share with others. Always stay true to yourself. I mean, that's kind of how I've dealt with my stuff. I mean, for many years before that, I was like pondering on the idea. Okay, so I've got all this great knowledge. I've learned so much of my guide. How do I put this out? And for many months, I was trying to work out how to write this book. And do I just be completely honest about it, or do I do the safe route and just say just what it is in a general kind of state? But he kept telling me, he just kept saying, just be completely honest. Honesty. That is how, and stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
As soon as you start lying to yourself or trying to sugarcoat stuff,
my husband has this.
You're just living a lie.
He just wrote it the other day. It says, "I stay true to myself."
Hey, it's the synchronicity live. There we go. That's it. I think that's how you get out of the karmic wheel. If you're in a wheel and you've been going for many past lives, the way you break it is by being true to yourself and being honest. And if you have amazing stuff to share with your experiences, I say go for it. Be completely honest and share exactly, your experiences, because that's how we learn from each other.
I'm very grateful that I spoke with you, because this is just one more reminder, when we fall a little bit off the wagon, one more reminder that it's all about staying true to yourself, not comparing yourself. And not thinking that what you do in your form of expression is less or more. It's just different. We all speak different languages, and what you cover is beautiful. Everybody does what they're good at, and it's awesome.
Exactly, and that's the whole contribution towards the bigger picture. Everyone has something. Everyone has a piece of the pie to give.
Was your journey with lucid dreams and OBEs parallel, or did one have a time and then?
Yeah, I actually started out as a lucid dreamer, and then spontaneously I had an OBE one night, and that generally is the common pattern, I think, with most dreamers. But yeah, with the OBEs, it just sort of manifested one night, and I had the vibrational state. I went into paralysis, and then I found myself trying to get out of my body. It was all a bit spontaneous. I never even heard of OBEs before that, and then I managed to just pop out. And then I was just flying around my room, and it's quite funny. When I first came out of my body for the first time, it's quite hilarious. I was on a conscious level. I was just a ball of energy, and I kept moving I couldn't find my balance, I was going around the bedroom, and I was this energy, and I was trying to turn the light on, and I was in this sort of like, well, am I dreaming this, or, And I was trying to turn the light on, it just wouldn't turn on.
Oh, wow.
And then I went through the door, and I went through the corridor, and I went to the bathroom, and I found myself just floating up. And I hit the ceiling, and then I stopped, and then I just thought about my body, and I went back. And I was like, that was such a strange experience.
Wow.
But then, so then I started reading up about OBEs, and then I just started to focus primarily on OBEs. And then my lucid dreaming just happened naturally when it did. There's just vast amounts of different realms you can visit.
Definitely.
And that's the beauty of having a spirit guide. One of the main things he did with me actually was a thing like I like to call dream wormholes, where I would say, can we go somewhere else? Can we go somewhere? I was like a little baby, I was like, come on, let's go. I was loving it. And he said, okay, come closer. And he would grab my head, and then all of a sudden we were just molded into one being, and my vision went black. and then we plummet into the ground, and it felt like we were diving into like a big lake, and I could hear the water like bubbling. Like, it was very strange, and then my feelings just it's so strange. The balance of my being was just one ball of just energy, and we just end up in this. We just submerged into this new place, and it was like a space station or something, and then he would take me through these different places, and it was like a test as well to see where my consciousness was at that time, and to see where my ego self was, and what my psychic ability was as well. So very strange, but I will never forget it, and that's what I think. That's why I like to call it SGLD, because it is kind of a new level. If you can get a guide that can take you to these places, it makes it a lot easier if you did it with a guide. Yeah, you can become fearless, and what's great as well, going back to how it's all mirrored, you take that courage and you take that energy back into this world. So it all becomes really incredibly fluid, doesn't it? So it is like another dream in this reality.
Yes.
It's a bit more solid.
Exactly.
So,
that's the illusion.
Exactly, it's all an illusion.
That's
it's
the
like
illusion.
the Matrix,
Yeah, because dreaming awake helps dissolve those illusions. Removing labels helps dissolve those illusions. That's when magic, synchronicity, what we were talking about, happens. So
yeah.
It's all about treating this life a little bit more with a flexible mind, with a little bit more of the impossible element, and open to magic, and guided by the heart. For me, that's so important.
Absolutely.
Without the heart, it's just, you're not going to be centered or grounded enough to go to places that could seem scary.
Yes. It's the one true brain. It's
right, I love that. Yeah.
And this is the lighthouse, how it...
Oh yeah, your mind has to be your friend, has to work with you. But some people see it as the enemy, and it's not that it's the enemy, it just has to take a back seat, a little bit. But
that's the thing, it's like, from day one the system has been teaching us to think from here when we should be thinking from here.
Right.
We should be feeling.
Right.
So.
Well, okay, Nick, I'm gonna let you get on with your day, with your life.
No, I look forward to it. And no, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. I love connecting with people like this. And namaste and love and light. And thank you.
Thank you too. And hopefully we'll keep definitely. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep the connection going.
Sure.
Okay. Bye, Nick.
All right. Speak soon.
Bye bye.
Take care.
You too.
Happy dreaming.
Thank you.
It's one of your techniques, I know.
No, that was Dr. Lucid's fault. That's not mine. I can't take the credit for what Dr. Lucid did to you. That is just too funny. I know. Well, don't worry. I'm going to make sure it's tasteful.
Can I get an amen?